we have an update on Ben Askren. This comes directly from Chael Sonnen. Ben Askren needs a lung transplant. He has a hole in one of his lungs. He is now in a Wisconsin hospital seeking treatment and trying to find a lung transplant.
Ben Askren, the former wrestling star who once flipped opponents like pancakes, is now fighting the toughest battle of his life inside a hospital room. Tubes help him breathe because his lungs are too weak to do the job alone. Doctors have him on a machine called ECMO, which moves his blood outside his body, fills it with oxygen, and sends it back in, kind of like a robot heart-lung teammate. His wife Amy wrote online that Ben sometimes opens his eyes and squeezes hands when the nurses turn down the sleepy medicine, so everybody knows the real Ben is still in there cheering. Still, his lungs are so damaged that the medical team has started testing whether he could get a transplant, which means receiving healthy lungs from a donor. Amy asked fans to pray that he heals, or, if needed, gets on the transplant list fast. She also reminded people to hug their family and prepare for emergencies because Ben used to be the healthiest guy she knew. Her message felt honest and hopeful, but the worry between the lines was louder than any arena crowd. Fans everywhere sent prayers, memes, and memories, trying to lift his spirit.
I've seen Volk and now JDM get up. I want that fairy tale in.
Your next fight was announced. It is you against Reinier de Ridder at UFC Abu Dhabi Fight Night Main Event, July 27th.
The beginning of the year, I took some time off after Christmas. Got back into training, started working with the team, told my manager, like, speak to him, tell him I'm looking for like late June, early July.
The UFC likes to throw big parties in Abu Dhabi, and this year's July 26th card sounds like fireworks on the desert sand. The host explained that Robert Whittaker, a former middleweight champion who fights with the speed of a video game character, will face Reinier de Ridder, a Dutch powerhouse who has finished every opponent he met in the octagon. Think of de Ridder as a boss level that no one has beaten yet. If he wins again, he probably gets a title eliminator next, which is basically the golden ticket. Then, just when you catch your breath, the co-main event is a 5-rounder between Movsar Evloev, an undefeated Russian featherweight known for smothering pressure, and Aaron Pico, the American prodigy whose punches look like thunderbolts. The winner could earn a shot at Alexander Volkanovski's belt. The lineup also features Peter Yan, the dangerous former bantamweight king, going against explosive finisher Marcus McGee, plus Bryce Mitchell dropping to bantamweight to face Said Nurmagomedov, who is related to Khabib. Add light heavyweight finish machines Nikita Krylov and Bogdan Guskov, and you have a night that might keep replay editors sweating long after the dust settles. Fans will mark calendars with red circles.
Although earlier today, a company came out with AI to work out the top 20 most handsome UFC fighters, and you came second.
I'm BOF, the best looking fighter ever. What's going on? I think this IE is not so good.
Conor McGregor came in first.
Okay. No. Definitely not.
Outside the Abu Dhabi Spotlight, the matchmaking wheel kept spinning like a carnival ride. Paulo Costa, famous for meme-heavy social media and muscle-bound showdowns, was supposed to fight Roman Kopylov at UFC 317, but the bout got moved to UFC 318. Rumors said Costa pulled out because he was sick, but Costa joked online that he was simply reallocated for business reasons, calling the reporter a monkey for asking. Meanwhile, Bobby Green, the lively trash talker with slick boxing, will meet Diego Ferreira at UFC 319 on August 16th after suffering 2 quick stoppage losses. Green wants to prove he still belongs, and Ferreira intends to stop him. On that same card, veteran striker Edson Barboza will battle Drakkar Klose. Both men are coming off tough defeats and need a rebound. Earlier, Bryce Mitchell decided to test himself at bantamweight, taking on the always dangerous Said Nurmagomedov. Add rising knockout artist Marcus McGee, getting his chance versus former champ Peter Yan, and you can feel how every division is squeezing together like crowded hallways between classes. Each change, delay, or new pairing pushes someone closer to glory while pulling someone else further back. Fans brace for sudden last-minute surprises ahead.
What do you think about a fight against Khamzat? It seems as though Khamzat beat Robert, you beat Adesanya, they used to be former foes, and now you guys are the new school of the middleweight division. What do you think about a potential fight against Khamzat? You know, for now, the belt is not in my hands, it's not in his hands. You know, it's going to be either Dricus or it might be Strickland, but we both deserve to fight for the belt, so...
In the middleweight scene, things got spicy on social media, almost like a lunchtime argument in the cafeteria. Nassourdine Imavov was assigned as the emergency backup for the huge fight between Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev, meaning he would step in if either headliner tripped, slipped, or failed weight. Suddenly, Imavov tweeted that he was no longer the backup because conditions changed. He ended his post with a direct threat to fellow contender Caio Borralho, saying he would break him. Baralho fired back, claiming Imavov had been hiding from the matchup and now had to obey the real boss, Baralho himself. He even joked about sending Imavov back to Dagestan and told him to say goodbye to France. The back and forth felt like a shouting match across two countries, each man daring the other to sign a contract. Fans everywhere grab popcorn emojis and watch the insults stack up. While nothing official is on paper yet, the online dust-up makes it likely the UFC will schedule Imavov versus Baralho soon, because real-life beef sells tickets thicker than any poster. Until then, both fighters will keep their phones charged and their egos sharp, eager to prove whose name belongs higher in rankings.
What do you think is going to happen on the 21st? What are your thoughts about it?
If he's not expecting to have any blood, then he's not really ready for war. This guy gets hit more than he hits anybody. Like that's literally a stat of his whole career. Like that's a wild statement. He's hanging.
Jamahal Hill, who walks to the cage with the nickname Sweet Dreams, wants to turn Khalil Rountree's night into a nightmare. Hill recently lost by technical knockout to Jiri Prochaska, a wild fight that looked like two superheroes trading powers until Hill fell. Now he is determined to climb back up. In interviews, he praised Rountree's power and aggression, but reminded everyone that he, Hill, is taller, longer, faster, and battle-tested against tougher opponents. He pictures his punches landing first, his feet moving smarter, and his experience shining like a flashlight in a dark room. Hill said he doesn't just want a normal win, he wants a performance so clean and dominant that matchmakers can't ignore him when they pick the next light heavyweight title challenger. Training camp is focused on speed drills, defensive footwork, and angle changes that make heavy hitters swing at air. For motivation, Hill replays his loss to Prochaska, pauses at moments he made mistakes, and promises not to repeat them. Fans respect his honesty and intensity. When the cage door closes, Hill aims to tuck Rountree into sweet dreams and wake up his own championship journey, fueled by family, hunger, and the echo of lost gold.
I set another record. I'm the first fighter in UFC history to secure knockout victories at featherweight, at lightweight, and now at welterweight across 3 weight divisions. So I'm very, very proud of that. Donald holds the record for most head kick knockouts of the amount of records that man has, but one of the records he holds, most head kick knockouts.
Conor McGregor, the Irish fighter who became a global superstar by talking loud and hitting harder, found himself in trouble again, this time at a nightclub in Ibiza. Phone video shows him standing on a raised platform, drink in one hand, chatting with a man whose body language looked relaxed. Without warning, McGregor swung his free left hand across the man's face, then threw another quick left that appeared to knock him out cold. The music kept booming, but nearby people gasped and held their phones higher. Earlier that night, McGregor had filmed himself in a mirror, looking glass-eyed and unsteady. So many viewers guessed he was drunk. So far, McGregor has not explained why he punched the man, and no police report has been released. But lawyers on social media are already predicting a civil lawsuit. This incident adds to McGregor's long list of outside-the-cage scuffles, which include bars, buses, and even a smartphone in Miami. Each time fans wonder whether his legacy will be remembered for brilliant knockouts or courtroom dates. For now, everyone waits to see if official charges drop or if a private settlement quiets the story, while critics shake heads at another missed training camp.
No, man, I'm tired to give chance the small guys, you know. I need my second belt, you know. It's nothing excited. He's a good fighter, he's a good skills fighter, but I don't want to give him chance, you know. I need second belt. They fight for what?
Lightweight champion Islam Makhachev might be walking a shorter road than fans hoped. His coach, Javier Mendez, told reporters he thinks Islam will fight only 3 more times before retiring. That number hit people like a surprise pop quiz. Daniel Cormier, who has trained with the Dagestani crew for years, said the news should worry everyone because when Khabib Nurmagomedov hinted at retirement, he actually left and never came back. Islam is still young, dominant, and even chasing a second belt at welterweight, so why stop? Some guess the motivation is spending more time with family, avoiding brain damage, or simply following Khabib's example of quitting on top. For supporters, the countdown now feels real. Just 3 more chances to see his grinding takedowns, heavy top control, and sneaky submissions. Opponents like Jack Della Maddalena, Kamaru Usman, and Ilia Topuria suddenly look like rare final bosses instead of regular rivals. If Islam himself confirms the plan, every future fight could feel like the last episode of a favorite series. Until then, the MMA world holds its breath, hoping the champion decides to extend the season a little longer. Maybe an extra title defense could change his mind for good, completely.
Than my son Kobe, you know. only take this fight because of him. I wanted to fight for him, but and I'm done. So I don't know. I hope they can remember his name, because without Kobe, we wouldn't be here tonight.
Heavyweight power puncher Francis Ngannou once seemed destined to be remembered like a comic book hero, but some people think his legend dimmed when he left the UFC. Analyst and fighter Matt Brown said that by choosing boxing matches with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, both of which he lost, Ngannou traded history for money. Brown admitted the paychecks were massive, more than Ngannou could have earned in 10 years inside the octagon, yet argued that fans have already forgotten Ngannou's title win over Cyril Gane because he stepped away. In Brown's view, had Ngannou beaten Fury or Joshua, his fame would have exploded across two sports, but instead the second-round knockout by Joshua made promoters shrug. Ngannou still owns highlight reel knockouts of Alistair Overeem and Stipe Miocic, but Brown believes the best heavyweight ever conversation now leans toward others who stayed active in MMA. Supporters of Ngannou push back, saying legacy also means inspiring fighters to bet on themselves and earn fair money. The debate hangs in the air like dust after a big swing, showing that greatness can be measured in belts, dollars, or daring choices depending on who tells the story. Only time will decide whose version sticks stronger.
I think Islam Makhachev is a better version of Bilal. The striking on the feet, I think it's easier than Bilal, because he's more just, he'll stay in one stance. He's more traditional style. But yeah, he's the pound for pound #1. So it's a tough fight. But I guess we'll watch all these fights again, make a solid game.
Featherweight king Alexander Volkanovski loves breaking down fights like a science teacher explaining volcanoes, and he recently shared why he thinks Jack Della Maddalena will be a puzzle for Islam Makhachev at welterweight. Volkanovski pointed to Jack's last win over Bilal Muhammad, where Jack blocked takedown after takedown like a brick wall. Every stop shot boosted Jack's confidence, and Volkanovski believes that mental boost can carry over. He said during training, once a fighter proves to himself he can stop elite wrestlers, drilling defense feels fun instead of scary. Volkanovski imagines Jack's teammates shooting doubles in practice and sliding off like foam arrows. At the same time, he respects Islam's world-class grappling and ability to dominate top position, so he expects a classic striker versus grappler chess match. If Jack keeps the fight standing, his crisp boxing combinations could light up the scorecards or even end the bout early. But if Islam chains takedowns together and sets hooks like he usually does, Jack might spend rounds glued to the mat. Volkanovski's breakdown turned into a fan debate. Unstoppable wrestler versus rising striker with bulletproof sprawl. Everyone picked sides and started counting imaginary takedown attempts. The storyline feels bigger with every passing interview.
Is John Jones scared to fight you?
Yes. John is conning the public. The fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year.
Is that fight fucking happening?
The UFC are saying that it's going to happen. I think it's down to him and Dana.
Dana loves John Jones.
He's trying to grease.
Heavyweight interim champion Tom Aspinall is stuck waiting like a kid who finished homework early and now wants recess. He hopes to fight undisputed champ John Jones, but contract talks seem slower than molasses. UFC boss Dana White said Jones has never ducked anyone, yet admitted decisions will come only in the next couple weeks, not wanting to waste time. Aspinall posted that training for many possible opponents is exhausting, then hinted a trilogy with Curtis Blaydes might be easier to schedule. Their first fight ended with Aspinall injuring his knee. The second saw Aspinall score a quick knockout, so a third would settle the score. Blaydes is known for strong wrestling, and Aspinall believes beating him again would silence doubters who think the injury win doesn't count. Fans are split. Some demand Jones versus Aspinall for true heavyweight clarity, while others think Aspinall should clear his lane against Blaydes before chasing greatness. Either way, that's it for this video. Subscribe to not miss out on the latest MMA desk news, and see you in the next one very soon.